welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor, and today we will be discussing all things Mean Girls 2024, Mean Girls the Musical, the movie. But before we hop in the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you love all things music and maybe a little musical theater. Let me preface everything today with the fact that I'm a huge Mean Girls fan and a huge Renee Rapp fan. So I went into this movie with some bias. But today I'm going to give sort of a quick review of the movie, as well as my thoughts as to why this movie is getting a lot of criticism today. And then I'm going to hop into ranking all 13 songs that appear on the soundtrack for the movie musical. Obviously, they cut some songs and added some songs versus the actual Broadway musical that they were adapting off of. I have since gone in and listened to the original Broadway recording of these songs, so I have that to compare to what they did with the movie, but I am still not as familiar with the Broadway adaptation. So that may skew some of my opinions for this. But I guess without further ado, let's hop into my quick review of Mean Girls 2024. Now, I saw this movie on opening night. That Thursday, I got out of work and I made the last minute decision to hop in the car and go there. I spent a crap ton of money to get this specialty drink. Not drink. Cup. Duh. I actually wanted the pink one, but my movie theater didn't have it. And also, upon further looking, I didn't realize this was in the bisexual flag colors. So I don't know if Renee Rapp influenced this particular decision, but you can tell I liked it and wanted to go see this movie enough to buy merch. So here's that. I would give this movie a 4 out of 5 star rating. I thoroughly enjoyed my experience while watching this. However, the entire time I'm watching the film, I have this feeling in my head of like, I love it, but also there's something just kind of missing for me. And then I kind of settled on what that was. So I'm going to go through like the two main reasons to me why this movie didn't perform as well as it could have, / it being January and January being a slow month for all sort of business decisions. We can ignore that. So reason number one. You can kind of tell that this movie was not intended to be a theatrical release. By all accounts and all research that I have done, to me it appears that Paramount, when they originally filmed and cast and put this movie together, were going to release it straight to streaming. And I'm not saying straight to streaming movies are bad quality. However, they decided sort of at the last minute to send this to a theatrical release. And in my opinion, if you're going to send a movie to a theatrical release that originally was designed to be straight to streaming, you kind of need to go back and take the time and either update it, spruce it up, maybe add back in those numbers that you originally cut from the script. Because the entire time I'm watching this, I'm like, this movie could be longer. Some of the songs that they cut down or updated, or the songs that they cut out, could have been added back in. And I checked the Spotify soundtrack or recording for the Broadway musical, and that's only about an hour and 5 minutes. So to me, if they had made this movie from like an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours and gone in and added those back in, we could have gotten the full version of the musical. And but also the advertising for the film sort of lacked that musical aspect. So obviously Paramount was not necessarily behind the whole musical aspect, since they didn't want to advertise it as a musical and such. And to me, I think the reason that they pushed to make this a theatrical release versus a straight to streaming release is, one, the whole hype in the musical theater community and just the whole hype around Mean Girls. It's a cultural phenomena for a reason. And two, the rising star power of Renee Rapp, Chris Briney, Alihi Carvalho. I mean, I feel like every Renee Rapp stan was basically going out of their way to go watch the movie. At least I know I was. Not just because it was Mean Girls, also because Renee Rapp. So I think that kind of pushed them to put it to a theatrical release. I think this movie is a great slumber party film, like, hunker down at home, have your snacks with your girls, whatever. The second one is they really didn't cast a musical with the musical in mind. We've got Renee Rapp. She has a Broadway background. Alihi Carvalho. She is Moana. She has that Disney princess powerful voice. Jacquel. He's a Broadway background. All sorts of things. Who else did they cast? BB Wood. She has a musical background. However, And I think I'm going to get into this more when we talk about the changes they made from Broadway soundtrack to the songs on the musical movie soundtrack. They cast Angourie Rice, Avantika, and, well, really those two, who both have major songs in here. And not to say they have bad voices and everything, but they are unseasoned when it comes to, music and musical production. And they've both sort of talked about how they were fearing going into the recording booth and making these songs come to life. So I feel like you can tell in the recording that they've either stripped back or pared down some of these songs to be less Broadway belt heavy for them. So I feel like a lot of people were talking about how they watered down the music for this movie, and that could be a product of them, trying to fit the songs to the singers rather than the singers trying to sing the songs. So, again, they both have beautiful voices, but I just don't think they have voices designed for Broadway numbers, if you get what I'm saying. Also, if anyone was having throwbacks, deja vu to High School Musical, When There Was Me and You, Vanessa Hudgens, when you could easily tell that they spliced her singing voice with someone else's, I feel like there's two songs on this track where I could kind of hear that happening on, where I'm like, I don't know if they've spliced this song either with another singer to do these notes, or if they put together two different takes during production. I don't know. That's my thoughts. 4 out of 5. Great watch. Go see it. It's still performing pretty damn well for a movie that seems to be very criticized by film critics and the public eye. Let's hop into my soundtrack ranking. Obviously, as I rank these, you're going to see some personal bias come out, and I'm not going to apologize for being a Renee Rapp and Olihi Carvalho stan when it comes to their voices. I'm sorry. Also, to all my Broadway stans out there, I understand. I understand your love for these songs. However, I'm only going off of what I personally love to hear, and you'll see that reflected in my ranking today. In 13th place, we have the song that they added to the movie What Ifs, Katie Heron's opening number. This song is an opening number. It's not an opening number in that it opens the show. It's just a little she's, lackadaisical, reminiscing on her life. Very sweet, very mellow in tone. Compared to the song that Katie opens with on the Broadway musical, I don't know why they changed it, to be fair. It Roars to me seems like a more upbeat, sort of fun number that they could have gone in with. This movie, even though it was more openly queer, it really shied away from some of the camp in the music. You can kind of see that reflected in their song choice change here. But in my personal opinion, this is just going to be sort of a mid song. In 12th place, What's Wrong With Me, Gretchen Wiener's only number in this movie musical. I have nothing against this song other than the fact that I am not a lullaby kind of girly, and I tend to stay away from listening to songs that have that lullaby-esque sound to them. So, beautifully sung, beautifully written, well placed. Well, actually, I kind of feel like in the movie I was taken aback a little bit by when she just started singing in the closet. But, there's that. But it's a cute song, just not personally stylistically something I go back to on the daily. In 11th place, we have a song that has probably garnered the most criticism by the public and musical theater fans, Stupid with Love, Katie Heron. So this song, compared to its Broadway individual, definitely changed a lot. Its Broadway individual is definitely bolder, more camp, more out there. I don't necessarily mind the changes they made to kind of make this a more mainstream sort of song. However, I don't think that it made the song appeal more to me. So I can take or leave the changes. I think one, they probably made the song a little more mellowed out to fit Angourie's voice. And two, obviously to appeal to a broader, more mainstream audience, because not everyone on daily wants to listen to someone belt out a tune over and over again. So, to each their own. This one's just okay. I understand the criticism. I don't think this one is going to be anywhere near top tier for me anytime soon. Now we're getting to the songs that really captured my attention, and this one is the closing track, Katie Heron's final number, I See Stars. This one, I just love it. This one obviously a little more bold, she had to go a little bit there more with her voice. And this is one of the songs that I was listening around and I'm like, this kind of sounds like they may or may not have spliced in or put in someone else's voice at a certain point in this track. I could be wrong. She could have just been putting together different takes and this was like her really best take and they really wanted to try and put that together. However, I think this one is beautiful, fun. I love it. I See Stars, the whole kind of like bridge portion or like end of it. I love it. I think it's a cute conclusion to the whole musical. I love my descriptions today, right? Then we have Revenge Party, Damien, Janice, and a bit of Katie. Listen, this was a point in the movie that was just so absolutely fun. And when you like listen to the recording on Spotify, you can like imagine every single thing that is going down. She was colorful, she was bright. However, this honestly, just compared to the other ones that they have on the soundtrack, I listened to more. So this kind of just fell subject to like personal like favorites. Obviously, Renee Rapp being a personal favorite. So I'm sorry, Revenge Party. This is just where you fell in the ranking. She's fun. She's great. Number 8, A Cautionary Tale, the opener. Damien and Janice. I kind of feel a little bit bad that I put this at 8th and not put Revenge Party at 8. But to be fair, my favorite line in there is like a story when she said where people died. That line gets me every single time. And in terms of openers, this one just like gets you going. This one, when it opened on the screen in the theater, it had me going. It had me feeling things. I was like pumped and excited. She was great. And as far as compared to its Broadway counterpart, I think they sound almost identical. So hopefully Broadway fans love that one. Now we have the start of me gushing about Renee Rapp with Meet the Plastics. I have to say, Renee did an absolutely beautiful job. I will say compared to the Broadway version, I think they definitely darkened some of the numbers, like World Burn, Meet the Plastic, and Someone Gets Hurt. They definitely added a darker feel, I think, compared to the actual musical theater counterpart. But overall, it kept the essence of what I heard in the Broadway recording. This one is amazing. However, I kind of feel this is a chance where they could have, instead of shortening the song to just focus on Renee and Regina's numbers, they could have had everyone's number in it and lengthened the movie by like 2 minutes to like add that in there. So that kind of suffered there, but also Renee's vocals make up for things, and also Renee looked absolutely beautiful in this scene. You know, bias coming from my end, but this one is definitely this point where I'm like, you could have done the full Meet the Plastics number, in my opinion. In 6th place, we have I'd Rather Be Me, Janice, Alihi Carvalho. This is for the, I don't really know what to say. We're getting into the point where I'm like, don't have words to really describe the amount of energy and great times I had listening to this. This is a number, this is a self-empowerment anthem. Janice's culmination of like, F you, I'm gonna love myself. It's done so well. Alihi's voice is just so beautiful on it. She's powerful. And just like the whole number itself had me feeling things. And seeing as I didn't have familiarity with the Broadway production, but I had familiarity with the Mean Girls production, like the OG, I love how that sort of created that whole number at the end of the movie. Great. Also, it ends with Regina, getting... So, that's always a fun time watching that scene, right? Now we're into top 5, hitting it with the TikTok viral song, Sexy Avantika. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. This song was not on my radar because I didn't listen to the Broadway soundtrack when I went into the movie. I wanted to, like, go in with fresh understanding, like, new eyes to see what this whole thing is about. This song is so catchy. So campy. This was the camp that I wanted from like the whole movie. It's fun. However, Avantika, you have a beautiful voice and you played Karen so well. This is a point where I'm like, I felt like somewhere in the middle of that song, I heard someone splicing in a different voice, and I'm like, who am I hearing things? Like, what was the production choice on this song? She's so fun. How I described every song on this ranking. But if you're gonna like listen to one to just get in the vibes, this one, Karen's song, love it. In 4th place, Apex Predator. So This is the point in the Mean Girls movie where I had to use the restroom and I didn't realize that this song was coming up. I thought I had at least a minute or so to run to the restroom and back for the theater. Did not. Missed the whole number in the entire film. So I have not technically actually seen this played out in the movie. But going back and listening to the song, A+. Absolutely fun. I'm sure the whole number was camp and beautiful, and Renee looked good, and Janice and Damien did their thing, and Katie looked all sorts of, on the sidelines and stuff like that. So, how things work out. Unfortunately, because Renee Rapp is Renee Rapp, in fourth place. In third place, someone gets hurt, Regina George. When I first watched this scene in the film, I was a little iffy. I'm like, I had already heard World Burn because they led with this being like kind of the first like major single from the movie that was on the soundtrack anyways. So I was like, how do I feel? I love it, but also is like, is this gonna be my favorite? I don't know. But I've been listening to it non-stop. The depth and darkness to this, the emotion. I heard the Broadway recording and I kind of love how Renee added a level of sass to this that was just excellent that I can hear through the recording itself. However, World Burn. You know I'm a belter. I'm a girly who loves a belt. So, yeah. I also will say, compared to Someone Gets Hurt on the Broadway recording, they did not add as many, like, belting and bold vocal numbers. They kind of took some of them out for Regina, and I feel like they could have added them back in. And also, since Chris Briney adamantly said he did not want to sing in this film, he is not on any of these songs, which I also think is a reason that some of these songs either sound different or were changed. So, but Someone Gets Hurt. Number 3, Solid Spots. In second place, I know the Broadway community is going to yell at me, but this song is just immaculate. Not my fault. Renee Rapp featuring Megan Thee Stallion, the ending credits number. I mean, I don't really know that there's much for me to say. I reacted this song. I'll link that up there, but can I say gay girls get an amen? Can gay girls get an amen? Her performance on SNL? Come on. The music video? Words cannot describe how fun and amazing this song is, and just go listen to it. Listen to it, and your life will be changed. And in my opinion, I am not overreacting with that statement. And then in my first spot, we have World Burn, Regina George, the penultimate number for Regina, where the burn book gets released to the community. Also, side note to everyone who's like, this movie was trying too hard to be Gen Z, I'm just like, come on. Like, it's a movie made in 2024. Things are going to be made with 2024 people in mind. So, like, I feel like you can get over it a little. But this song, I love. Basically, it combines everything. It's dark. It's moody. Renee Rapp, obviously. And then there's big, belting, rock-style vocals. I mean, there was no way it was not going to be number 1. And I will say the performance in the movie, the sequence was not how I wanted it to be. I also kind of feel like they muddled some of the vocals in the movie itself. But in terms of the Spotify recording, A+, amen. I know Aaliyah's been hyping up Renee Rapp's version of World Burn for a while. And this song killed it. She killed it. She was definitely she and Janice Elahi Carajo, I'm going to say both of them, runaway stars the entire movie. And then Avantika just coming in and killing it. And I can't believe that she's 18. She's got like a trajectory that's just going to go far. And that was my official soundtrack ranking. Let me know what you thought of the Mean Girls 2024 movie. What was your favorite song? And do you happen to miss the Broadway version? Or are you actually excited about some of the new songs on the soundtrack?